figure out the dosage on that. Like that's
what, cowtails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not a whole one.
Like, no.
We should probably eat like a quarter of the cowtail.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, let's give this a go. I've never had a cowtail before.
So,
I can't even open it, so I'm already not liking this. I got it. But yeah. What?
we're on a roll here, ladies and gentlemen.
Go.
Sup, yeah.
We haven't podcasted in a long ass time, so that's why we've done 3 in a row. Hence the reason I'm still wearing this shirt, Warren's still wearing that, and you're still fucking stoned.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, it's progressive and shit.
Don't
Literally,
expose me.
there's a dispensary opening in Harrisburg, and there's another one opening in Lancaster. This shit's legal everywhere now, so let's just stop. Let's quit. Fuck it, stop it. Help! No, seriously, they're not
No,
stopping.
I didn't even have one.
Oh, shit.
Oh, sweet, I got traded. So, last podcast we were talking about, well, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the Catholic religion, we talked about,
There's a lot of stuff.
we talked about a lot of things, but we ended the conversation on Warren trying a cowtail and our aversion to lower quality movies as far as the resolution. I don't know if you want to speak any more. Please
There you go.
stop it.
Oh.
I don't know if you want to speak any more on that, Warren. How
Uh,
about you, since you didn't say anything really? Like, the movies you used to watch as a kid, what do you see as a difference? And, like, what did you like about it back then versus what you like about it now? Do you like it more now that you can have the crazier resolution? No. Or do you like that you miss the nostalgia of the VHS?
Well, it's just like he was saying, like, all the stunts are more believable. You don't see every little single detail of what's going on.
Right.
So it's easier to believe the movie.
Yep.
Plus, I think, I don't know, if you go up till now, you can turn, like, any movie on and have, like, a basic idea of, like, the storyline. You know exactly what's going to happen. When there's maybe a jump scare, like, you can tell by the music and shit, like, they're just not that original anymore. They all just follow the same kind of thing, especially horror movies. I don't even bother watching them anymore because, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's going to be a jump scare here. Oh, this plot twist is coming up. Oh, didn't see that coming. Like, in half the time, you can even tell what exactly is going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not really the doll, some guy's living in the walls. Like,
That was a good one, though.
That was.
But I
Every now and
must
again.
say, if you want to speak on movies that,
The Boy,
yeah.
That was good. It's just everything you need. It's not the scariest movie in the world,
or
but it's everything you
the
need.
Orphan,
Yeah.
too.
The Orphan was good.
She's
Yeah.
actually like a 50-year-old lady and she's in love with your husband. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I think that's a really an interesting point that you bring up is like it's not so much the nostalgia of it and that movies aren't better. Movies are. I will argue the point. And the
Movies
fact
were better before.
that movies were better. Yeah, exactly. That movies were better then.
People put more thought and more time into their ideas and stuff than they do now. Nowadays, you can just be like,
I think it's.
I want it to be a romantic comedy, and you put it in the, like, order that, like, it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like, original anymore. It just, this is how
That's
it's
it.
supposed to be, so we're just going to do it like this. A, B, C,
Yeah.
D, we're done.
I think it's because of the technology gap too. So like when those guys had those ideas back then, they actually had to like make that happen. Whereas now it's just like, oh no, just those guys will do it. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? And it's the same guys getting used. They don't change up the guys getting like and they're just creating what it is. Like in so fast as well. Like
Oh
compared.
my god!
you know?
There's like the turnaround time for movies now is like, I mean, what's that one movie that one of the most. It's a very recent movie that's come out. It's about a girl that has a stalker, and she's like kind of fucked up about it, and ends up going into a mental institution, and he's one of the orderlies.
Yeah.
That was shot on this. Literally the shot on an iPhone 6 Plus. That entire fucking movie. And he didn't even put any filter on it. It was literally the iPhone that shot. Like 99% of that movie was shot on an iPhone. Yeah. Which is awesome in one sense and shitty in another. Because there's all this possibility, but there's so many crap movies now.
Yeah.
Like
because they want to do it
the
fast.
Signal to noise ratio is like
if they spent the same amount of time and put in the same amount of hours, that's what would equal a better movie.
Yeah.
That has to stay the same.
But nowadays it's just like the same, like horror movies have the same generic progression. Like, oh, I think we beat it. Oh, it's back, and it's worse than ever. We might die. Oh, we beat it again. Oh, it's back alive. We killed it last time. We're done. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. I like prefer. It's I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say. But
there's no new ideas. That sucks.
Yeah.
You're saying you preferred it?
No, yeah, I forget where I was going with that. I had it on the tip of my tongue. It slipped me.
Like, but going back to what you said, it's the time that's put in. And some people would argue that, like, back in the day, like, we talked about, I don't know why I always reference the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Because you're obsessed with it.
And I'm not obsessed with it for, oh, it's the greatest horror movie of all time. I'm obsessed with the fact that they were able to scare the living shit out of people with. There's no gore in that movie. You see, like when the main character's brother gets killed by Leatherface, you see like some blood spurting, like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it spurts at Leatherface when he's killing him with a chainsaw. But like, there's no gore in that film. Hardly at all. There aren't any, like, I can't really think of any jump scares, except like a couple, like one or two with Leatherface in it. But that movie is so genuinely and viscerally frightening, just because it's like a constant like sensory assault the entire movie. Like if you watch that film, even on the DVD and Blu-ray, it's not even like real, but there's like this tone throughout the movie that's got like this kind of nails on a chalkboard kind of.
Yeah.
There's a constant tension in the movie, and done purposefully by Tobe Hooper and Daniel Pearl. Like, they wanted this constant like grinding sort of thing. And like people that are knocking movies out in 2 weeks with their iPhone and iMovie aren't thinking about those types of things.
Yeah.
They just want views on YouTube, which is founded. Whatever.
Yeah.
I want views on YouTube. Fuck.
Yeah.
And I know, like, that's good. Whatever. Fuck shit. You know, to produce a viral video is now like a mark of excellence nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I like the philosophy is like, who gives a fuck what equipment you have? It's how you use it that makes you who you are. Like, you could have access to fucking Sony Red cameras and the best Final Cut software and editing suite you could possibly imagine, and you could be an idiot and not know how to use it. Whereas somebody that knows what they could do could fucking have a cell phone and fucking Windows Media or iMovie and make the next fucking Paranormal Activity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know it. It's just fucked up, man. Like, I think what makes these like particular movies that are like great movies or like cult movies, it's because the time they put into it like translates through the film. Because like, so back then when they were making movies, they were like, okay, so there's this movie about fucking space, and there's this thing, you know, that the bad guy lives on and shit, and then these guys are gonna be in spaceships and all this shit now. Holy shit! Like, how are we gonna make it a spaceship fly? You know, like, and that was their first question. Okay, well, we can't actually make it fly, and then they would go down the list, and you see that, and that's why everything is like
It's almost as if they're like
done, you
they
know. But now you always
think
get
backwards to the movies nowadays.
now with their movies, everyone gets their first idea done, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple concept arts, and it's like done. I will do that one, and then it's just
Mhm.
done. Like, whereas back then it was like they might change. They might, okay, yeah, we'll have it like this, and then they change some things along the way as they do it because it's such a long process. Even just that one part of it, you know, like
Yeah. I would love to make a movie nowadays and edit it with tape.
yeah,
Like shoot it 16 millimeter, reel to fucking reel, and edit it on tape.
yeah,
I would love to go back and just like, cause could you imagine doing like, I mean, that was even like, for all the youngins out there, 20 years ago, 1998,
yeah,
movies are still edited, a majority of movies are still edited with cut tape and real film. You know, the advent of, because we had Photoshop and we had, I think iMovie came out in '96 with the iMac, that bubble back iMac with a 10 gig hard drive, unfucking heard of at the time. 10 gig hard drive, 500 megs of RAM. Holy shit! Now your cell phone has 3 times that. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy to think about. But like, yeah, 20. I mean, even in like 2000, 2001, 2002, that editing software was so primitive, and we're still like editing off of mini DV tapes and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, to do all those things that just take a push of a button now.
yeah,
It means so much friggin' more.
yeah.
And I
Definitely.
think it's lost in a lot
Like,
of filmmakers.
it's funny. It's funny to think when you look back at when DVD was first coming in, and they were like advertising it on the VHS, and they were saying, you know, it's coming, DVD's
Yeah,
thing.
like I remember you talking about that.
Like, it's kind of, I don't know, because they kind of, if you remember at the beginning when they first became like household, after they lived that lifespan of being like an exclusive thing, then it was like,
Yeah, I remember when they were like
affordable.
$70.
Yeah, like, you know, so then you get hold of one, then you realize, oh shit, now I gotta go buy all of these fucking movies again. You buy one, and then, do you remember all like the first run of DVDs all had like, they had to sell it to you so bad, they had like games on the menus, like some of them would have like games
Yeah,
and shit. Do
I
you
remember
like
that,
those
yeah.
first DVDs? It was like, that was part of the perks of getting a DVD. Oh, I wonder what like games and shit has. You know, and the kids would mess with it.
Yeah, and then you could play it with we could play it with the remote for the DVD player. And stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then,
fucking Shrek had
yeah.
one on there. Yeah,
yeah,
I remember.
and they had that because that's how much they were trying to sell this fucking format. They were just like trying to get everybody
Oh,
involved.
I remember when 1080p, like the first high def was 720, but like I remember when high def TVs became like a thing back in like 99, between like 99 and 2003, even like a little bit before that, when high def was like first kind of like 1080i and stuff like that, 1080p. Like TVs, like a 50-inch television was like $11,000 fucking dollars. Now there's 11,000 TVs out there, but they are pinnacle pieces of technology.
They're like computers now.
Yeah, they're fucking ridiculous. I remember like walking into my buddy Andy's dad, who had a shitload of money.
Like,
He had all that like brand new tech. Like he would, like the minute it would come out, he'd buy it. And I remember going in and we were watching like Wayne's World or something. No, we were watching The Pick of Destiny. We were watching The Pick of Destiny, and it was in full full 1080 high def.
right.
And I remember looking at it and it's like, that doesn't look real at all.
Yeah.
Like it looked like there were people inside the television.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were acting out something inside the TV. It looked. I was like, that doesn't. I don't
Yeah,
like the
I
way.
think
I
that-
didn't like the
I'm
way
not
it
saying
looked.
that it can't be great though. They could fix it. I think there is something missing, and I think it's to do with the, like I said, I'd call it like the silk car. You know that static between the image and you like creates a really pleasing effect. for
Yeah, there's a
watching
softening of the image that happens.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's very subtle.
And even the audio. I think the audio on a tape has like
Oh, the
a
low
lot of
end.
different effects to it, but especially if you're watching, because one of the nostalgic things about watching VHSs was also one that you'd watched along, like over and over, and it was kind of on its last legs.
Yeah.
You kind of adapted to the fucking audio sounding fucked up for like most
I
of the
remember.
movie, you know what I mean? You still sit for it and it added to it. Those
Yeah.
crackles, it was like listening to record. I think that's one of the reasons why it's such a pleasing experience, is those crackles and those
Yeah. It's
inconsistencies in
age
the
to
audio.
it.
Really
It's
like,
this version.
that's a pleasing thing to do anyway. You know what I mean? Like listen to almost any song, and there is like, and you know, it's a favorable thing. They don't use it for all of them, but that people have used that thing where they start off so it sounds like the record's going. They always have the scratch at the beginning, you know, to
Yep.
sound like the record's going on. Because it's just a thing that like even though you weren't from that generation, like it just does have this like pleasing effect, like audibly. Like when you
Oh
listen.
yeah, man! I remember fucking. Speaking of Die Hard, that was like the first VHS that I ever. That's probably my favorite action movie. That's my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But
Ooh, I should get the. No, I should.
like,
Nah,
we
I
should
was.
do this.
Is that okay where I was saying?
fucking go ahead.
I'm
Get
just
the
thinking.
ashtray.
But like, I had. That was my first VHS, and I played the shit out of it. And I just remember it deteriorating to the point where it was like I had to like tap the VHS player, and like I had to set the tracking in like a certain way for it to play correctly. Are we getting into some shit, or are we just smoking tobacco?
I'm just doing it.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Can I just like say a gripe that I had walking to the toilet?
Okay, let's hear it.
The fact that they made 11 on Stranger Things seem as though she was culturally and socially inept and stunted when she like was trying to express that her name was 11 to Will. She goes, he says Will, and she goes 11. And then in season 2, she's fully and completely articulate,
Yeah.
speaking in like, it's like, come on. It's like, she's MK Ultra. She's fucking like a telepathic super weapon.
Yeah.
And you're gonna sit here and tell me she can't say, hey, my name's 11.
I think.
I don't know why that hit me walking to the bathroom, but... Ow! There they are.
Hit the fuck
Hey, Mr. Ashcroft. I didn't know that was hiding something. I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
Babe. Tactical error on your part
For what?
for putting a target of value behind a movable cover. So, why would you do that? Fucking
Yeah.
Jocko Willenick is fucking so pissed off at you right now. Or Willick. I love you, Jocko, by the way. You got me through a lot of shit in the past couple of
Turns out I'm
months.
just preparing myself.
Yeah.
You guys are-
Nah,
Oh,
hell no.
are you high?
I'm not. I'm drunk. That's so fucking
Yeah.
different.
Howdy.
It's fucking different.
It sure is. Yes, I do.
There you go, look at that.
Oh, you guys are like coming
Because I
down, you're
don't.
chilling out, you guys are gonna get fucking ripped. I'm so
Because
excited.
I don't use deodorant, and I only take bubble baths.
My mom says I'm sweet, and that's why spiders keep biting me. Oh, way to go. Way to mention your mom and also spider bites. Sure you don't want to mention your pediatric hemorrhoid? Did that little bastard just ditch you? Yeah, I guess he has to hang out with his couple friends now. Yeah, so they're all going to be swinging together. Just one big old fucking suck. Maybe you can be the guy that jerks off in the corner. Every orgy needs a witness.
Yeah.
I am Maury the hormone monster, just so you know. I know who you are. The FCC. That fucking... What's that guy's name? Ben Shapiro? He's watching it. And he's masturbating.
I bet. Going at it hard.
He's just like, oh yeah, talk about WikiLeaks more.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it harder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm drunk now.
But, I don't know,
God,
man.
it just tastes so goddamn good. There's apple juice in there, and calico, and tea.
Shit. That was what I was going to talk about. Was,
Dude, you're doing some MacGyver shit over there. What's going on?
I'm building something.
Okay.
No, like, what was I gonna say?
I'm not sure.
Where are we gonna go with the?
Well, this is an entirely new podcast now, so I don't know what's going on.
Where are we gonna go with the conversation here?
Well, what we were talking about on the last podcast was we continue the theme of nostalgia for old movies.
I don't.
I suppose it would be the linear theme through these 3 or 4 podcasts that we're doing, or maybe it's just going to be 2 big ones. Who knows? I will only know when I'm editing at some point. So.
Oh
That
shit.
scared the shit out of me. Why did you do that? No, it like legitimately frightened me.
Oh dude, that was it. There's a song
That
keeps-
should be the opening to that one.
There's a song that's playing on the radio right at work, and I swear the intro to it, the very first musical part, and then it's just a long pause, is "Fool in the Rain." It sounds exactly every time I hear it. I'm like, oh, it's "Fool in the Rain," and then it's not. It's another song, and I was just like,
Wait, like it has a shuffle, like the drum part, or is
no,
it
like
it's
the
just a long
beginning. If you
intro?
listen to the very beginning of that song, like,
Yeah, it's
like,
it's on the record. It's rain.
Ah, shit. I mean, like, the first, like, where it, just before it kicks in, there's, like, a sound. And it's, like, there's a song that's playing on the radio that it starts off the exact same way. It's really weird.
Interesting. That's fucked up. I've heard plenty of songs like that, like plenty of contemporary pop music. That's like, oh, this is gonna be an Aerosmith tune, and it's like fucking Lady Gaga, which I'm okay with. Lady
Yeah.
Gaga's pretty good, but it's like, no, I completely understand what you're saying. I don't know the song you're talking about though.
No, and I don't remember what it was called. But, yeah, it was crazy.
It's like caramel. It's crazy.
It was crazy. That, like, just so much like it. Every time, it gets me every time. It got me like 4 days in a row. Like, the same fucking song. Like, fell for it every time.
What's the best though is like, I wish that Fool in the Rain started. I wish that Fool in the Rain started as the original studio cut, and it's just John Bonham counting out of time as Robert Plant decides when he wants everything to come in. He's just sitting there like tapping his drumsticks going, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. Like completely just disjunct from the actual metronomic time of the song. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Clearly fucked up.
Oh, man.
Clearly like 3 sheets to the wind, and immediately just goes in and kills one of the best halftime shuffle beats in music. That's just, I wish I had that pedigree. I wish I could go in like 2/5 of Jameson and nail it. Like that would just be the greatest, it's like the greatest accomplishment ever. Like I remember shows where I accidentally got drunk and was like, if I was only John Bonham right now, like I would try to
be fun.
I would try to channel Bonzo in those moments.
Man, I like my few experiences with like being on stage and doing like a show and shit was like instantly just was like, fuck it. I part of me knew, I was like, this is as high as I'm going in this, so I'm making the most of it. So I got like, all the guys I was with weren't old enough to buy like alcohol and shit, and I just turned of age, so I went and bought a whole case of beer. It's like half an hour before the show. We're literally like just outside the car park. Went to the store, which is right there. Walked back down,
And
sat under a
slamming
tree,
beers in the parking
just
lot.
started slamming them. You know, all of them way better musicians than me. Like, you know, so they got their shit together. They can kind of use it. They're like real musicians. You know, they get really put on and just like, like it just works. This is just fuel for me. Like those type of guys. You know, they just inherently
Right.
know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we start slamming them. We're getting fucking drunk in the middle of this park, and then the guys start fucking smoking as well. So I get like super ripped. I'm doing like bongs. It's crazy, right? And then we get in the back and feel good. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of fucked up, but it's okay. And then went up, like in the back, as soon as we went up on stage and the lights were on, dude, everything just hit me at once. And I was just like, I just had all these people stare at me, and I was just like, dude, I'm really fucked up right now. Like, and if they don't know how fucked up I am, they're gonna as soon as I'm expected to start playing.
Like you can in the days of me being on the road and stuff, especially not in the beginning as much, which is kind of fucked up because I was into way more hard shit in the beginning. Like the drugs and stuff that I was doing in the beginning of my career as a professional musician. Like the stuff I did when I was actually being successful paled in comparison to what I was doing in the beginning, which is fucked up. It's weird.
Yeah.
But like there are you can like see pictures of me live, and it's like funny. You can see the timestamp. Like they start taking pictures in the beginning of the night, and you can kind of see this sort of glaze happen in
Yeah.
some of the pictures. And some of like one was the album release party. The one was the album release party. Like
That was so.
that was one. That was a night. I wasn't. At the end of the show, I was not drunk.
I was.
The beginning of the show, I was fucking hammered. Because it was like the first time I'd ever legitimately released an album that had any kind of clout behind it. Like, yeah, sure, release an EP, come like 12 people show up. This is like a legitimate show in front of like hundreds of people where we have our album for sale. And she and I are in a hotel room beforehand. And I had been getting fucked up before, like, and I got up on stage, and like it like you said, it hit me all at once. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah. Consequences.
and it's like it was only the simple fact that it was like we were playing a lot of our original music, and I'm like, I wrote all of this. My brain's just gonna take over. And I'm gonna be okay until we like got until we got into like the cover parts of the set where I had to nail it. Like I wrote the tunes that were playing. Like we split it up, so we didn't do like an entire set of original music. So I had some buffer time and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
But it's like, God, like that one right there was the best worst experience of that, because I got on stage just like.
Yeah.
Shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh no! Like this is my reputation on the line. Here we
Yeah.
go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it.
The worst one was like when we were fucking around drinking and stuff. One of the guys was fucking jamming out on my guitar and shit. So when we get up on stage and I like plug in and shit, and I'm just like, this is just gonna have to happen. Like I can't walk off. Like this is like
That's the other thing.
like humiliating myself here is like really my options. I was like, fuck it, here we go. So this like the set starts and shit. I forget what we were playing. Like and like I just hear how horribly out of tune my guitar is, and he had it in some he fucked with it a lot. It was in some fucking bizarre tune, and I spent the whole first song because I couldn't hear my fucking shit trying to tune my fucking guitar through the first thing. So it was like pretty crazy. But I don't know how by some luck I like tuned up the second one, but like after that it's just like this is already over.
Like what was the only terrifying thing about that I've experienced is probably the worst my worst experience on stage doing anything was, again, for the most recent band that I was in. And I'm going to keep their names out of this because I don't want them to get any kind of credit, but I also don't want to shade anybody because I'm just fucking over it. Anyway, but probably the most terrifying thing is, like, if you're a keyboard player, even if you're a guitar player, even if you're a lead guitar player, you have the option to walk off.
Yeah.
You have the option to be like, you know what, I'm really, really wasted, or I really or there have been shows, and I'm not going to speak on like just the times where I was drunk. There have been times like you're sick, and you have the flu or something. I've played shows. I've done legs of tours with the flu, and like if you're a lead guitar player, rhythm guitar player, if you're a singer, you can say, no, I'm just not. I play the drums.
Yeah, you can't.
I have to be there.
Yeah.
It's like, I recall there's a big festival around here called the York Fair. It's in York, Pennsylvania. It's at the York Fairgrounds. Huge names play there. And like, I was fortunate enough to play the day stages and some of the opening stages for some really big acts. And there was one time where I was hammered. And I'm like, okay, we're going to be fine because everyone else hasn't been drinking. And not only does my lead singer, who's also my lead guitar player, show up fucked.
Right.
Like, not hammered like I'd been drinking that day. Like, he showed up wasted from the day before. So he wasn't drunk. He was borderline like having to be hospitalized.
Yeah.
He was so dehydrated and so malnourished that he had to come off stage, get an IV
Oh, man.
and a breathing mask just to get him through the set. And I show up there, put my stuff on stage with my fucking sunglasses on because I've been drinking since 9 o'clock that morning.
Yeah.
I've got my sunglasses on. There's no sun outside. It's like it's 11:30 on a Tuesday,
Right.
and we're on stage. I've got my sunglasses on because I'm fucking hammered because I've been it's whatever. I've been drinking since the night before. Why not just keep fucking going?
Yeah.
And I'm like putting my stuff on stage. I'm just a little hammered. I'm trying to take the edge off, drinking water, drinking vodka. And I'm like, we're going to be okay because we're just playing original music and we're going to be fine. Everyone else is... And then the shit show shows up. My keyboard player, my lead guitar player, who's also my lead singer, show up. And they're just like,
Yeah.
I really fucking overdid it last night. I'm like, oh, great. This is just going to go right down the fucking toilet. Like, he was so wrecked from the night before that he couldn't hold, like... When he tried to play his guitar, his hands were shaking that bad for how low his blood sugar was that he could not. He had to play my other guitar player's vintage Les Paul because the neck was thick enough that he could anchor his thumb to it
Oh, damn.
and be able to articulate chords without his hand shaking. That is how fucked he was. And it's like, looking back on that, it's like, how the hell did I ever make it as a professional musician if I had that bone in me? Like,
Yeah.
I could show up with a bottle with a bottle or more of Jack Daniels in me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know until I get up there.
Yeah.
Can I have my $1,500, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and that's what we always would do too. We always ask for the money at the beginning of the fucking night.
Nice.
We always took the BB King route of it. It's like, pay me or I ain't playing.
That's
And
it.
they were like, there's already 400 people here. Like, well, I guess you gotta pay me.
Yeah.
I guess whatever, you know. Money in my pocket, and I got the money in my pocket, just like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Eat my dick.
Oh, man.
Or you've seen it when I would sing, and I'd be hammered on stage. I would sing an AC/DC song.
There you
And
go.
it just would depend upon when it would happen in the set.
Okay.
Like, if I didn't want the crowd to hate me, I'd have it happen in the beginning. But if I wanted it to be a little bit more raunchy, I'd have it happen towards the end.
Oh, man.
And it was just like, it was highway to hell. And I'd make a complete ass of myself. I'd spit beer at the crowd. I'd throw cups of water at people. Like, no one cares. Who the fuck's it? There ain't a single person in the crowd to kick my ass.
Yeah.
At that point,
That's it, man.
if you're the size of me, and sober, it's okay. If you're the size of me and drunk,
Yeah.
it ain't happening.
That's it, man.
You could hit me in the face with a chair. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. And not only I'll do shots over your lifeless body till the
Yeah.
ambulance gets there. Like that's how very little fucks I gave back when I was drinking heavily.
Yeah.
Now I just drink when we podcast.
That's it. It's not a bad time to do
It
it.
isn't a bad time. What the fuck were you even talking about, Warren? You're just over here playing on your phone. What are you doing? Playing Candy Crush?
She's in the
Playing
zone.
Candy Crush like a little bitch.
Oh.
I don't even hit.
Ah, there you go.
You didn't hit me hard enough, though.
Don't worry, your next wife will do it for you.
Oh,
Shoot.
that's the name of this podcast. Don't worry, your next wife will do it for you.
Yeah, man.
Oh no.
Oh, there it is.
I think that's a good place as any to stop. What do you think, Warren?
Yeah, I'm running on Steam right now. If we'd stumble onto something that's
Yeah, that's 4 in a row, and each one of them has been about 20 minutes.
yeah.
So, if you want to watch these in sequential order, the first one we did sober, and this one here, at least I'm drunk. I don't know about you guys. You guys still feeling it?
I'm trying.
They
I'm really high.
For real though.
Thank you for not sugarcoating it. I was trying to
I'm
find
really
a way
high.
around it.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a way
I feel that
around
in my
it.
soul.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm at that point now though. It just shows how this is the problem with humans compared to like any other animals. Like they did this experiment where they gave a monkey a bottle of Jack Daniels and he ends up drinking it. They did it for like 29 days after that. Dropped a bottle in there. You wouldn't go anywhere near it. Not ever again did it happen.
So he took it to the head one time.
He
and then-
drunk it, and then after that, he had that hangover the next day. He was sick and stuff. He never went near the bottle again. And that's how he says to put it in. But look at this. I just went in the biggest wormhole that I've been in a very long time. And now I've had another beer in me, and the effects have sort of dripped off my shoulders. I'm like, let's do it again.
But yeah, it's Roundtable Props. Check us out on SoundCloud and everything. Bye.